While other games going on right now, Brewers killing the Cubs 7-0. That one in the bottom of the ninth inning. Games still to come this afternoon. Padres and Giants, Guardians and Diamondbacks, Reds and Angels, Dodgers, Rockies, Rangers on the road to take on the Royals, and you've got the Houston Astros on the road taking on the Detroit Tigers.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Happy Monday to everybody out there. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. The good summertime weather is back. The sun is shining, and hopefully that means good things for your Seattle Mariners who are in Philadelphia. Game one of their three-game series with the Phillies coming your way this afternoon. We're going to turn you over to the pregame show coming up at 2:30. But, Dave, this has been a very disappointing road trip to this point, because you got beaten by the Orioles, who, by the way, just beat the daylights out of the Astros. So the Orioles have seemed to have found their rhythm. They can thank the Mariners, I guess, for that. But so you lose that series, then you go into New York, and the pitching falls apart. You get two just garbage starts. Let's be honest about it. Luis Castillo, terrible. George Kirby, terrible. Brian Wu, spectacular. They lost. They lost the one game that was pitched well. I mean, it's beyond frustrating. They were able to outslug them in that Castillo game, but just beyond frustrating. And I'm just counting these games down, Dave. I'm just going, okay, there's 38 left. There's 37. Oh man, it's just time is ticking, and the Astros are giving you the door. They're opening the door, and they're not stepping through it.
Well, and the frustrating thing was the way it began on Friday. I mean, we did the show from the booth, Bob, and we were, pretty negative about, what had gone on before that. And then they come out and put up 11 runs, and I'm thinking, okay, we're set for the weekend. But, yeah, that was just very frustrating to watch the rest of that play out, especially when you get a performance like you got from Wu. And then you can't capitalize on it. Just very frustrating. I have no idea what's going on with Baltimore Orioles. I mean, that series was very perplexing to me. I mean, I feel like that was a team that if you'd have said, oh, these guys are tanking last year, you'd have said you're crazy. And but yeah, they traded away a lot of pieces, and then they end up winning that series. And then you go to the Mets and you start off great and think, okay, we're back, and not so fast.
Yeah, and the Mets had been playing really poorly going into that series, and they get well on the Mariners. I don't, what do you say about it? I mean, it's, Castillo in his start, he just goes 4 innings. He lasts 4 innings, so you're killing your bullpen right out of the gate. He goes 4, gives up 6 runs, 3 home runs. Then Wu was fantastic. 6 innings, 1 run, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, and they lose that game. Then Kirby yesterday, 4 2/3, 7 runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And just, they've lost 4 of 6 on this trip. And, we talked about 9 games. What's a success? I'm like, go 5-4. You can live with 5-4. If they don't sweep Philadelphia, it's a losing road trip. And it's going to be tough. You got Ranger Suarez on the hill tonight for the Phillies. Tough matchup, to say the very least. You got 37 games to go. 37 games to go. They're a game and a half behind Houston. They're now tied with Boston for that number 1 wild card spot. I don't know. It's and this is when you feel. It seems like when you feel worst about them, that's when they turn around and win. I wouldn't be surprised if they won this. I'd be stunned if they swept this series, but I wouldn't be stunned if they won the series. Would you?
No, I wouldn't. This is a very hard to figure out team. And like, you said, you were talking about the Kirby start. So he gives up 7 earned runs, 3 walks. And then in comes Saucedo, goes 2 1/3, gave up 1 hit, got 3 strikeouts. And then Kowar, he gave up 1 hit. So, I mean, it's just like they're not all operating on the same level. And it's like you're getting good performances in one area, not in the other, and especially for Kirby to have an an outing like that is it's just surprising. So, yeah, just waiting for this team to kind of come together like they did during that home stretch where they took 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, some of the good news, I mean, Brian Wu continues just to be the ace of this staff. That's good news. Cal Raleigh hitting his 47th home run of the season. So he's picking it up. And then you look at Julio Rodriguez is putting on his second half push. He's hitting over 300 in the month of August with a 343 on base. He's got 5 home runs, and he's had, a couple hits yesterday as well. So that's good news. There are good things happening around the team. It's just you got to get them all happening together, So, one night the offense is completely dead. You got nothing out of the offense. You get a great start. You get a terrible start, and the offense puts up 11 runs. I mean, it's maddening to watch as a Mariner fan because we're coming to the end. We're marching down, and every game is so important. So, hopefully they surprise us. They take care. I've already gotten a text from El Hombre, said, I'm going to be at the game tonight. I'm sending pictures. So I would imagine he's going to be letting the Mariners hear it from wherever his seats are and see what kind of pictures he sends. But one other Mariner note.
Opposing team?
What's that?
Does he want to see somebody to heckle the opposing team? Is he going to go after them?
Oh, yeah. Remember, he said he doesn't swear. He doesn't, there's no cursing or anything, but he lets them hear it. He's very proud of the fact that they can hear him. So what he's going to say, I'm sure he's going to dazzle us with it when we talk to him. But, yeah, he's fired up for it. But the thing a lot of people are talking about, and I guess we're kind of happy it took away some of the headlines from the Mariners, is Victor Robles plunked again. I'm sure you've seen the video by now, Dave, where he got hit again, and he takes his bat and just flings it at the pitcher. And you're just like, okay, I get it. This guy hit him last Tuesday. This guy hit him at the end of last season. So he's been plunked 3 times. He's faced this guy. He's been hit. And it didn't look like it was a purpose pitch. Problem is he's been hit, 4 or 5 times in 50. He says 15 at-bats. He posted a big apology on his Instagram page where he said, I want to take a moment to sincerely apologize for my recent reaction on the field. I let my frustrations get the best of me, and I understand how that may have affected not just the game, but the energy and respect we all work so hard to maintain. Coming off a long rehab, being away from the game for most of the season has been physically and mentally challenging. Adding to that, recent passing of my mother has been incredibly hard. I've been doing my best to hold it together. That's not an excuse, but some context. I feel you deserve to understand where I'm coming from. Getting hit 5 times in 15 at-bats added to that pressure, and I reacted in a way I'm not proud of. This game means the world to me, and as do the people who play it. He went on for a little bit there, but says he's been hit 5 times. I thought it was 4, but I guess it's 5 and 15 at-bats. I'm kind of torn on this. Look, you can't throw your bat. Just end of story. The end. You can't do it. As much as I understand it, and I could relate to that anger. I absolutely understand it. You just can't do it. That's just not the reaction you can have. And it's going to potentially cost this team. We'll see what happens with suspensions. But, this is a guy we were counting on for a return. And, adding a little spark. And, how deep in jeopardy is that right now? I don't know.
Now I feel ashamed for laughing, but I don't know. I mean, he's just such an interesting character to me. Isn't that the 3rd time he was hit by that same pitcher? I think I read.
Yeah, he got hit by it. That's what I was just saying. He got hit by him last Tuesday, and he got hit by him last year in Oakland.
Yeah, and then, you said it's been 5 or whatever, but I mean, and that one was just it looked like it bounced off his bat and off his head, and I mean, it was just like a pinball going around in there. So, I mean, look, you can't obviously react that way, but like, I don't know, if you said one of these guys on this team, whether it's down in AAA or the big leagues, is going to throw a bat at a pitcher, I probably would have guessed it was him.
He seems like the likely candidate.
I don't think he's a bad guy, I just think he's very passionate, and that must have been incredibly frustrating. And hopefully the apology goes a long way. But I don't know. I mean, he's in AAA. Do you think is that going to be a Major League Baseball fine? Or
I think whatever suspension is handed out, it's going to impact his big league time.
Yeah.
So if they
that's,
tell you 5 games or whatever, I don't even know. I mean, you look on social media, everybody's like, he should be out for the rest of the year. He should be suspended into next year and blah, blah, blah. You saw all kinds of opinions on that. But what it's ultimately going to be, I have no idea. And I don't know if this apology, which I don't know if he wrote that, but I don't know how far that goes and maybe easing the potential punishment. I'm not, they do like to see contrition. They do like to see that, hey, this guy lost it. He had a moment. He lost it. He gets it. Doesn't mean he's not going to be punished, but at least he understands and he's not defiant. He's not digging his heels in and going, well, tough. Dude plunked me for the second time this year. Third time I faced him, he's plunked me. And, he deserved it. So I'm sure he probably feels that way. If you were talking to him off the record, he'd be like, screw that guy.
Yeah,
I mean, he can't have it. He just can't have it. I mean, I get it. I kind of chuckled too, but in the end, I looked at it and was like, oh my goodness, man, this is the wrong time of the year. We got 37 games left, and we were looking to you to be a bit of a spark when you do get back, hopefully soon, but now that could be impacted.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it just coming off a very frustrating weekend, as we detailed there, of like, you're getting good performances from a guy like Wu. It's like historic, and then you just don't pick it up offensively, and it's you want it to all to come together, and this definitely is kind of a setback because we thought, man, he would be Robles, that is going to be fantastic at that leadoff spot. And I didn't realize that his mother had recently passed, and so I don't know, like you said, I hope it goes a long ways, and sort of softening up a little bit as far as the suspension goes, but bad timing, definitely.
Yeah, really poor timing. But what we don't feel bad about, and I would assume, I understand it's preseason. I get it. Keep it in context. But how are you not feeling good about the Seahawks after what we watched in that game? It doesn't even matter if they won, they lost, whatever. Just watching this offense, which is where all the questions are. I think everybody's on board with the defense, really confident in what the defense is going to do. All of the questions are on the offense and the O-line and Sam Darnold and what are we going to see. And we still don't know. We still don't have a clear picture, but it's getting clearer that they are committed to the run. We're getting an idea of how Kubiak runs this offense, more specifically how they're going to attack on the ground. And in this game, you got a big fat dose of it. 48 total carries, 268 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. How do you not leave that stadium feeling pretty optimistic?
It just looked like they could do whatever they wanted to do. And it's kind of funny. It reminded me going back to Mike Holmgren. Talked about this a little bit, I think, on Friday, about how Mike was kind of like an artist, the way he called plays and how one play sets up the next play. And one of the ones that really stood out to me was the pass to Oots out in the flat. Like, they just entirely isolated him. And it was all done by motion and shifting, and, and it was just a 13-yard catch that he had, but he's wide open. And, the offense they're the ones that, like, set that whole thing up is, the way that you shift and the way that you go in motion and things like that. It's confusing. And especially now, look, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get into the regular season, and other teams are going to be game planning you, and they're going to know a little bit more. We always talk about preseason. They're not going through film or anything. The only thing they could have done, and I remember doing this before, is going through and looking at like Niner film or what they did in New Orleans last year. But so teams are going to start to, to game plan them, but still just, in a preseason game against a team that was in the Super Bowl last year, some of the players were out there. You had, your running backs got 50, 49, 48, 45. Charbonnet got 45. Drew Lock ran for 34. I mean, it was wide open the entire time. And it was like whoever you plugged in there, it worked. And I thought up front looked really good. Anthony Bradford looked good. Certainly Gray Zabel. I mean, everything is starting to come together right now in the run game.
Yeah, it was encouraging. I mean, if you were somebody that's really concerned with what's happening on that side of the ball, maybe you're doubting. I don't know what, to me, it's just questions. I'm not doubting. I'm just sort of curious, like, all right, how big of an impact does Kubiak have? how different does it actually look? Is it going to be demonstrably different? Is it going to be something where we're going, whoa, we didn't see that before? And some of it is. I mean, just the wide zone, seeing that line perform that way. And I got to emphasize, I'm trying to keep it in context. It is preseason, and I know it gets tougher in the regular season, certainly. But, when the O-line was such a thorn in the side of this team last year, it just wasn't good, and they could not run the ball. To see what you've seen in the first 2 games, going over 400 total yards of rushing in 2 games, it's been very pleasant, to say the least, and gives you reason to be optimistic that this team is gonna be effective, at least in that aspect of the game. We'll see what the passing game looks like. I mean, it was cool to see Sam Darnold out there, but he threw 4 passes. He was 4 of 4, 34 yards, so that part was good. It was mostly Drew Lock out there, but the line and the running game. To me, I walked out of there going, okay, I love what I'm seeing. I love what I'm seeing, and I'm eager to see how it plays in the regular season.
I think the only thing that maybe you could complain about in that kind of a victory is that, you're going to get into games where you're going to have to catch up fast, and you're going to have to throw the ball a little bit more. But the way this defense, I think the defense is going to start like they were at the end of you and I talked about that in the offseason. They're going to start the way they ended last year. So, you have to have that complement on the other side of your defense is keeping you in the game. You can't be down 21-0 and start running these kinds of plays typically. So, by the way, one of the passes that Darnold threw, I think it was his long one, I believe it was the one to Oots, and where he was just wide open. So yeah, there's not a lot to tell from that, but I think this kind of shows you what you can do if you keep this. If our defense keeps another team in, within check, where you can run the ball and you can run these kinds of plays and you can have, 48 rush attempts and 21 pass attempts, that will be a really good thing. But I have a lot of faith in the defense, so I don't think it's necessarily a fluke, but I also don't think they're going to run for 268 yards every game.
Yeah,
but
I'm not
nice to see that.
I'm not expecting it, but it was just cool to see that offense. I really like what the way Kubiak has things set up, and it seems like it really does favor what the O-line does well. And we'll see again, does that translate to the regular season? Meanwhile, guys fighting for roster spots that stood out to me were both wide receivers. Jake Bobo, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, making great grabs, and then Derek Young, a guy you've talked a lot about. 3 targets, 3 catches, 52 yards. It feels like you got a lot of talent at that receiver position. How it shakes out, I don't know. Do you think they keep 5? Do they keep 6? And who are the odd men out? It feels like you're going to be cutting talent there. You're going to be cutting a receiver, whether it's Cody White or whoever it may be, that you look at and go, oh, God, I hate to see that guy go.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll be happy to not see Bobo and Derek Young go, because those are the guys that I did think maybe would be casualties. One of the reasons, just less roster spots maybe for receivers, but maybe they don't do it that way. Maybe they take less of a as far as a personnel grouping goes, from another position. But I thought because of all the tight end receptions and the number of plays that maybe they would cut a receiver down anyway. But now all of a sudden you're looking at Bobo. I love that Derek Young, I think he kind of solidified his spot on the team. And you have to have that guy on your team. He's too good of a special team player, and I think he has a lot of potential on the upside. But yeah, I agree with you. I like seeing those 2 guys, especially Bobo, kind of a fan favorite. And I thought he definitely proved that he needs to be on this roster.
Yeah, really, there's a lot to take, and when we've got a longer show, obviously we'll get deeper into it. But a lot of good takeaways. Kind of tale of 2 teams. Mariners incredibly disappointing over the weekend. Seahawks, you walk out feeling optimistic and excited. At least I did anyway. So just feeling good about what we saw with that team. Meanwhile, let's take 2.
Well, some more good news for the Seahawks yesterday. Uchenna Nwosu passed his physical, and Mike McDonald said, quote, "To my knowledge, we're ahead of schedule when it comes to Uchenna." And then he also added they're hoping to have him on the field early in the season.
So maybe not week 1, but maybe week 2 or 3 perhaps is, I don't know what a reasonable ramp-up time is. And I don't know. Maybe they'll have Trey Hendrickson. Maybe that'll be a guy that's in the fold. That rumor's starting up again. That talk. I don't know how realistic it is, but it's good news. I'm glad he's a guy who's been impacted by injury the past couple of years and not been very available. So having him out there is obviously a huge boost.
Yeah, he's got an edge to him also that of intensity. And, there was a couple of years ago when he went down, the run defense really went down with him. And I do think he's one of those guys that's pretty necessary, just the veteran leadership and everything. But you are getting good play off the edge. Boy, Mafe looks really good. Derek Hall looks really good. I would love to have him back, though. But I feel like they'll be okay if it's maybe week 3, week 4.
Well, Dan Wilson just announced earlier today that Bryce Miller will be activated and start against the Phillies tomorrow night. And that's big because the Astros, well, they're going to get Yordan Alvarez back soon. He's beginning a rehab assignment tomorrow night. They are saying they hope to have him back this weekend in Baltimore.
Yeah, they actually made that announcement on the ESPN broadcast about Bryce Miller yesterday before the Mariners made it official. But yeah, I guess now it's official. Bryce Miller back. He'll start against the Phillies. I haven't heard what kind of limitations are going to be placed on him in terms of pitch count or what they're realistically expecting to get. But man, you need him to hit the ground running as much as humanly possible. I know it's going to be his first start, and it comes against a tough team on the road. But we need Bryce Miller, and we need the offense to back him up in this one, to say the very least.
Well, and I don't. It's certainly not fair to think about the way that he finished the season last year, to expect that. But just to get him back, and again, I think we talked about him, where it's like I don't think he's going to have a big mental problem coming into this. He seems like a very laid-back guy, and if we can just get him anywhere close to what he was last year, this could be a good run the rest of the way. Would you say there's 30? How many
37.
games left? 37.
37 games left.
Yeah.
It's going quick. And, as far as the Astros in Detroit, we're all Tigers fans. We're all right there with John Morosi, rooting on the Tigers. And Yordan Alvarez beginning a rehab assignment. Hopefully it takes him a while. I hope that timing's way off, that it's just going to be a long, long build for him to get back to what he was, because the Astros have been scuffling a bit, so the Mariners need to take advantage of that. We'll see what happens. All right, Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife, swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Coming up, you got the Mariners, you got the Phillies, Game 1, Logan Gilbert on the hill. Pre-game show coming up. We'll talk to you tomorrow with Wyman and Bob.
If you haven't subscribed to Seattle Sports on YouTube,
It's amazing.
We just got to keep hammering it home.
you're missing part of the game.
The rest is history.
There's so much more than what happens on the field.
This is the place I love.
Subscribe now for in-depth inside information with Brock and Salk.
The Mariners' hit rate was way higher than that.
Bump and Stacy,
Cal's like a coach out there.
Wyman and Bob.
One day, breaking that record would be pretty cool.
Stream it live with the local sports leader on YouTube, Seattle Sports.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for refractive lens exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals Freedom Vision for every every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed, all in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data, except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
This is one of the most spectacular venues with all kinds of character and hospitality, scenery. These people in this Kittitas Valley, they love when you come to see what they have to offer.
I'm JJ Harrison, Ellensburg Rodeo Clown, and I want to invite you to the rodeo. Come hang out with us in Ellensburg. Great rodeo, great time. 2 performances on Saturday. One is the Extreme Bulls of the Year event. Do not miss the Ellensburg Rodeo, August 29th through September 1st. We'll see you there.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. The Seattle Mariners pregame show is on.
Back she goes, going and going. Goodbye, baseball, he did it! Julio Rodriguez.
Mariners pregame is brought to you by the new Chevy Trax, Beacon Plumbing, and Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Seattle Mariners pregame. The countdown to first pitch is underway.
There it's set. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit high, left field towards the corner. Nimmo over, he's looking up, and it is gone! Home run, Cal Raleigh. He does it again. Number 47 for Cal. He is just one home run away from tying the all-time home run record for catchers in a single season.
Could we see number 48 tonight? Well, it's been a whirlwind 24 hours for the Mariners, but they are happy to be back out on the field with an opportunity to get this road trip turned around. Good afternoon and welcome to the pregame show. Shannon Dreyer coming to you live from the Western Washington Toyota broadcast booth found here tonight at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. And everything looks and feels very different right now. Wind is, I believe, in the 70s. There's a breeze. You cannot see a glimmer of sunshine anywhere. And I think everybody's probably pretty happy about that after series in very sweltering New York, Baltimore, and then, of course, Williamsport last night with humidity that got up to 98%. Absolutely insane, but this feels a little bit more like the baseball weather the Mariners are accustomed to. So perhaps a good sign for the team tonight. Of course, everybody, they're going to treasure and remember what took place in Williamsport probably forever. It was just such a special day for all of the ball players involved and all of the kids who were at the Little League field that the Mariners spent over 3 hours at. And then, of course, putting on the show later that night with the game. Just a very unique experience, one that I didn't think that we would ever get the opportunity to do, and I'm so glad we did. But that turned into a whirlwind day. This team left the hotel yesterday at 10 o'clock in the morning in New York, got to Williamsport at noon, and got into Philadelphia last night at about 2:30 in the morning. So it was a show and go today for the Mariners. They got to report a little bit later to the clubhouse here. They did not take batting practice on the field, but I'll say this. Just about everybody was out in the field doing some work, which was good to see about an hour ago. And they, of course, did their normal cage work and whatnot. You don't have to take batting practice. You can get your work in without it on the field. So looking forward to what we could see. I think they probably got some good rest today. And, again, temperature's a lot more friendly. The Mariners come into the game tonight with a record of 68-57. They're a game and a half behind the Astros for the division lead. On the other side, the Phillies at 71-53 are 5 games up in the NL East. The pitching matchup tonight will be Logan Gilbert on the hill with Ranger Suarez going for Philadelphia. Now, the Mariners are going to see something they haven't really seen a lot of lately, and that's 3 left-handed starters. So Logan Gilbert and Ranger Suarez, the pitching matchup tonight. Tomorrow it will indeed be Bryce Miller returning from the IL. I cannot tell you how excited I am about that. I like what we have seen and heard from him in regards to how he feels about the situation with his elbow, and I'll tell you, he feels great. I think they found the answers that they needed to. We saw him do great work in his rehab starts, getting that pitch count up there, and it appears he's going to be about a full go coming off the IL, which is good for the Mariners and something they no doubt will appreciate getting those innings of support. On the other side, another lefty, a very good lefty in Christopher Sanchez, and then Luis Castillo and Jesus Luzardo, we're very familiar with him, to close out the series on Wednesday before they head home for a day off on Thursday at home, and then a fun weekend series, starting out with the drone show on Friday night with the A's. But they're in need of a series win tonight, so a series win over the next 3 days. So a win tonight would go a long way in helping accomplish that small short-term goal. Taking a look at these two teams, very similar offensively by the numbers. Pitching has been a different story. If you're following, you know Philly has got pitching, and so the Mariners are going to need to put some runs together. This is the lineup that they will have tonight for the lineup for the lefty, Suarez. It was a late night for me last night, too. Randy Arozarena at the top. In left field, Cal Raleigh will be catching and batting second. He had the .252 average, the 47 home runs, 102 runs batted in, and for good measure, 14 stolen bases. Julio Rodriguez will follow in center field, followed by Eugenio Suarez at third base, Josh Naylor at first, Mitch Garver at the DH tonight with the lefty on the hill, Dom Canzone in right field, J.P. Crawford back where it all started and did not start well for him. He would like to do well, and he does do well when he returns in this ballpark. He will be batting 8th in the lineup, and Cole Young at second base will round out the 9. For the Phillies, they line up like this. A lot of familiar names in this lineup. Trey Turner at the top at shortstop. He's batting .291. Kyle Schwarber, he is a threat on the home run side. He is hitting .248 with 43 home runs, 102 runs batted in. He has had 100 or more the last 3 seasons, and he will be following. Bryce Harper will be batting third at first base. We all know about him. A little bit of a down year for him. .258, 19 home runs, 55 runs batted in, 10 stolen bases. Not too shabby nonetheless. JT Realmuto at catcher will be batting cleanup. Alec Boehm at third base. It will be Brandon Marsh in center. Nick Castellanos in right. Max Kepler in left field. And Bryson Stott rounding out the 9. Again, Ranger Suarez on the hill. As for the health report, we already mentioned Bryce Miller will be returning tomorrow to start. And also I would point out that Andres Munoz and Matt Brash have had a little bit of a break with the way the games have gone the last couple of days. So they should be very fresh, not just tonight, but for the series. The health report is powered by Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, the sports medicine provider of the Seattle Mariners. We have got a great show planned for you. A Philly native, and I don't like setting hopes too high, but I think we're going to be able to get him. We'll see, and if not, we'll play it by ear. Jason Stark lives here and is at the ballpark quite a bit and is just one of the best voices and writers on baseball. He will be joining us, we think. He's got some other duties, but we are hoping to get him. It's the one day he's at the park, so we're going to give it a shot. We're hoping to have him on the round table in about 15 minutes. On the Mariners Clubhouse Insider earlier today, I sat down with Mitch Garver. I want to get his perspective on a couple of things, where this team is right now in the season, what the season means to them at this point of the season, and also some perspective on what we see at the end of games from the leverage arms. That'll come up in about 25 to 30 minutes. We'll have all the usuals as well, picks to click, take a closer look at the pitching matchup, and much, much more. But coming up next, I sat down with Dan Wilson just a few minutes ago. We're going to get into what this means for the team since they will be facing 3 straight lefties and more. We're just getting started here with the pregame show. Stick around. You're listening to us on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Whatever temperatures this summer brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training, and skills are backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. So whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new cooling system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort.
Schedule an appointment today. For a dealer near you, visit BryantNorthwest.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
They say teachers don't impact for a year, but for a lifetime. Hi, I'm Rick Riz. It's time to honor another Teacher of the Week with a $500 classroom grant, courtesy of your local credit union, WSECU.
This week's Teacher of the Week is Sandra Metz from St. Charles Borromeo Catholic School in Tacoma. Congratulations, and thank you to WSECU for honoring this year's Teacher of the Week recipients.
Great teachers truly inspire. To see this year's Teachers of the Week, visit mynorthwest.com/teacher.
Goodbye baseball. Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper.
The Mariners postseason push is on, and there's a whole new way to be part of the action. Introducing the Homestretch Flex Plan, a $500 membership that gives you the freedom to choose your games and seats for the rest of the season, all while saving 5% on tickets and no fees.
Strike 3 call. Triple digits to end it and complete the sweep.
You can use your credit however you want. Go big with club seats for a couple high-stakes showdowns, or stretch it out into the final series against the Dodgers. And the best part, Homestretch Flex members get priority access to our postseason pre-sale. That means you're first in line when October comes calling. The team is locked in.
J.P. Crawford! Game winner, walk-off fashion in the 9th inning.
And now it's time to bring the energy down the stretch. Come on board today at mariners.com/homestretch. Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
This is Mariners baseball. The countdown to first pitch continues with the Dan Wilson Show.
Well, Dan, here we are in Philly, and I think that probably everybody's a little bit relieved to see that little bit of a breeze out there, the low cloud cover, no sunshine. It's decidedly different today. How much could that help a club?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's certainly, obviously we went through a stretch there where we saw some humid weather, and yesterday no exception to that. But, yeah, today a little bit different change. a little cooler. Obviously, that's a little easier on the body than the hot, humid. But doesn't matter for these guys. Every night is a chance to come out here and be prepared and take the fight to the game and at game time, and that's what these guys do, and that's what they'll do again tonight.
And it was a late arrival last night. You did the show and go today. That's a fairly common thing in this game. How do you kind of know when, okay, we need to do it now?
Yeah, I think for us, quite a late arrival last night when we got to Philly and 2:30 in the morning and give these guys a chance to get a little extra rest after a long day, early in the morning flight and a couple of flights. And so it was just felt like one of those days where, the rest and relaxation was a little bit more important to get the body back and the mind back to where it needs to be. So sometimes it's not as easy to figure it out, but this one I felt like was pretty a no-brainer.
What's it like to take them and yourself completely out of? I mean, for me, it was a massive palate cleanser. Everything we did yesterday was so different. What is that like on the competitive end?
Yeah, it is. It was a lot different yesterday, and especially in baseball, I feel like we get really accustomed to our routines and doing it the same way each day, and that was definitely something out of the routine yesterday, but a great day nonetheless. And I think certainly a focus on the kids and Little League and the great job that they do, and the incredible event that is the Little League World Series. Really a great day all around in terms of that, and really I think a great partnership that MLB and Little League have, and it was just a great event.
You get back here, and it's you're going to be hit with something that you really haven't seen a ton of in the last couple of weeks. 3 lefties in a row, and they're all very different. How do you prepare for that?
Yeah, you're right. We haven't seen a ton of left-handed starters here in a while. In fact, we faced a lot of righties. We'll get 3 lefties here. We'll take each one a little bit differently each day, and look at the way they approach hitters and how they do it, and our offensive guys, Seitz and Gar and Bobby, do such a great job of preparing our hitters and getting them ready, and we'll be prepared for these guys and ready to swing it.
How do you get Luke Raley in there?
Yeah, it's been a little tricky now with these left-handed starters, and we're looking to get all our guys as much work as we can and get the ABs going, and hopefully we'll find some opportunities.
Logan Gilbert on the hill tonight, and we see the stuff, and we see the swing and the miss, and we see he's so close. Is there one little adjustment that you would like to see with him?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen him throw the ball really well for us, and there's been some games where he's been able to get some early contact and some quick outs and some weak contact for the out, and that gets him deeper into the ball game, and hoping that he has that kind of an attack tonight. This is a team, they have some big left-handed at bats in the middle of the lineup, but I think he stacks up well with his secondaries, whether it's the slider or the splitter, it could be a really big night for Logan Gilbert.
Last question: how do you watch a Cal Raleigh at bat, knowing that it's not just what he's doing in the game, it's the history? Is that in your mind at all? Can you enjoy it that way?
I don't know about that, but watching his at-bats has been outstanding this year, and just seeing him again last night, a couple of hits, including a home run, and being able to drive that ball to left center or to left field, he has just been so locked in, both sides of the plate. He's put up such good at-bats, and with the work he does behind the plate, it's just so impressive that he's been able to do it, so consistently from beginning to end. And, it's been nothing but an impressive year for him. And we'll just keep grinding away with it, and we'll hopefully keep getting the same results.
And that was Dan Wilson on the Dan Wilson